As a doctor, I beg you, never put these foods in the fridge. They can actually harm your health. Most people think the refrigerator is a universal safe zone. But for some foods, it quietly destroys flavor, texture, and even creates risks you never imagined. Subscribe now to avoid these hidden mistakes and protect both your kitchen and your health. Many people instinctively place tomatoes in the fridge, believing the cold will keep them fresher for longer. But the truth is the opposite. Refrigeration strips tomatoes of their vibrant taste and aroma, leaving them bland and lifeless. That juicy, sun-ripened promise is lost when they are stored in the wrong place. Science explains this transformation clearly. The low temperatures damage the fragile membranes inside the tomato cells. This damage causes water to separate from the flesh, leaving behind that dreaded mealy or grainy texture that feels unpleasant on the tongue. It's not just about texture. Flavor is deeply affected too. The chill interrupts the delicate balance between sugars and acids, muting the natural sweetness that makes tomatoes so delicious. Each slice becomes a shadow of what it could have been. Many people think the fridge protects tomatoes from spoiling, but it actually speeds up the loss of quality. What looks fine on the outside has already been ruined inside, simply because of where it was stored. The solution is refreshingly simple. Keep tomatoes at room temperature in a well-ventilated spot away from direct sunlight. This allows them to ripen fully, maintaining their rich color and bold flavor. When stored properly, every tomato fulfills its potential, adding brightness to salads, sauces, and meals instead of disappointing with dullness caused by the cold. Refrigerating potatoes might feel like a good habit, but it quietly triggers an unwanted chemical change. In the cold, the natural starches inside potatoes turn into sugar, shifting both their taste and their safety. What should be earthy and mild becomes oddly sweet, changing the way your dishes turn out. This shift has a bigger consequence than flavor. When those sugar-filled potatoes are baked, fried, or roasted, they can produce acrylamide, a chemical that research has linked to cancer risk. What seems like a harmless storage mistake can have long-term implications for your health. Many households unknowingly create this problem. A potato placed in the fridge doesn't rot quickly, so it seems like the right choice. But what's happening inside the potato tells a very different story, one you can't see until it's too late. Potatoes are best kept in a cool, dry place, not cold, not damp. A pantry or a paper bag in a ventilated cabinet is perfect. There, they stay firm and flavorful, exactly as they should. This simple shift in storage preserves their natural taste and prevents the chemical reactions you'd rather avoid. You don't have to complicate it, just change the shelf they sit on. When stored properly, potatoes do more than last longer. They remain the safe, comforting food they've always been meant to be. Putting onions in the refrigerator might feel harmless, but it creates the wrong conditions for them to thrive. Inside the fridge, excess moisture seeps into their layers, encouraging mold, softness, and decay. What started as a crisp onion quickly turns into a soggy, unappetizing mess. The reason is simple. Onions need airflow and dryness to stay fresh. In the cold, condensation builds up, breaking down their protective outer skin and weakening their natural resistance. The once sharp, aromatic bite fades away. This doesn't mean onions should never see the inside of a fridge. Once they are sliced or chopped, refrigeration is fine, but only if they are sealed tightly in a container. Without that protection, their smell spreads everywhere and they absorb other food odors. For whole onions, though, the fridge is not their home. They belong in a cool, dry pantry with plenty of ventilation, so air can circulate and keep them firm and flavorful. Another important tip: keep onions and potatoes apart. When stored together, they release gases that make each other sprout faster, ruining both before their time. Handled properly, onions stay crisp, fragrant, and ready to bring depth and character to every dish, without the slimy surprise of refrigerator damage. Many people tuck garlic into the refrigerator, assuming the chill will extend its life. But in reality, cold storage speeds up sprouting, leaving the cloves with bright green shoots that taste bitter and harsh. The garlic loses its signature richness, and what's left can ruin the flavor of an entire dish. The cold doesn't just affect the taste, it changes garlic's chemistry. Some of its beneficial compounds, long celebrated for culinary and medicinal purposes, begin to fade. Instead of being the powerhouse ingredient it should be, refrigerated garlic turns flat and disappointing. A sprouted clove isn't harmful, but it's not the garlic you were hoping for. The texture becomes rubbery, the aroma is dulled, and the vibrant oils that make garlic magical in cooking start to diminish. The best solution is surprisingly simple. Store garlic in a dry, breathable container away from sunlight and moisture. At room temperature, it thrives for weeks, staying firm and full of flavor. It's a small storage habit, but it protects the taste and the essence of every clove. Garlic rewards the care by staying bold and aromatic, just as it should be. Skip the fridge, and garlic will always deliver that deep, irresistible punch that turns a simple recipe into something unforgettable. Many believe that putting bread in the refrigerator helps it last longer, but the opposite is true. The cold triggers a process called retrogradation, where the starch molecules reorganize and harden. Bread that should stay soft and comforting quickly becomes dry, stiff, and disappointing. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. Bread loses the inviting aroma and gentle texture that makes it special. Toast becomes brittle, sandwiches lose their charm, and even the freshest loaf feels like it's been forgotten on the counter for days. The irony is that refrigeration slows mold growth, but it accelerates staling. In trying to protect bread from one problem, you create another, a bigger one. The fridge trades freshness for toughness, and it's rarely worth the exchange. The better choice is simple. Keep bread in a bread box, cabinet, or wrapped loosely at room temperature if you'll eat it within a few days. For longer storage, freezing is far superior, preserving both texture and flavor. Frozen bread thaws beautifully, returning to its soft, pleasant state, something refrigerated bread rarely does. The freezer pauses time. The fridge distorts it. By skipping the refrigerator, you keep bread as it's meant to be, warm, welcoming, and endlessly comforting, the kind of bread that makes every meal feel a little better. Many people place their coffee, whether beans or ground, in the refrigerator, thinking they are protecting its freshness. But coffee is highly porous, and in the cold, it absorbs both moisture and odors from nearby foods. That rich aroma you love is quickly replaced by a dull, confused scent. The delicate oils in coffee are easily disturbed. In the fridge, condensation settles on the beans, altering their structure and stripping away the natural complexity. What was once bold and nuanced becomes flat, lifeless, and far from satisfying. It's a quiet mistake, but a costly one for your morning ritual. Instead of waking up to a deep, aromatic brew, you end up with a cup that tastes muted, as though the coffee lost its voice overnight. The best way to preserve coffee is simple but crucial. Keep it in an airtight container, shielded from air, light, and humidity. A cool, dry pantry is its ideal home. This small choice protects the character of every cup. The chocolate notes stay chocolatey, the fruity hints stay bright, nothing gets lost or altered. When stored properly, coffee becomes more than a drink. It remains an experience, a small daily joy that stays true to itself from the first scoop to the last. Refrigerating oils like olive, sunflower, or coconut might seem harmless, but the cold changes their appearance and texture. They solidify or turn cloudy, creating the impression that they've spoiled. In reality, they haven't, they've just been shocked by the wrong environment. This transformation is inconvenient. What should pour smoothly instead drips sluggishly, or clumps form that are hard to mix back in. Cooking becomes a hassle, and even a simple salad dressing feels frustrating when the oil won't behave. Though this change doesn't make the oil unsafe, it does make it less pleasant to use. Every time you have to wait for it to return to liquid form, you're reminded of the mistake. Oils thrive in a cool, dark cabinet, away from heat and sunlight. This protects their flavor, consistency, and overall quality. A pantry shelf is far better than the refrigerator for these liquid essentials. Stored correctly, oils stay smooth and ready to use, exactly as they should be when you drizzle them over vegetables or blend them into a recipe. Avoiding the fridge isn't just about convenience. It's about keeping the integrity of your kitchen staples intact. So every drop works exactly as intended. Bananas, mangoes, and avocados are often tossed into the fridge without much thought, but the cold works against them. It halts their natural ripening process, trapping them in an unfinished state. The peel may darken, creating the illusion of spoilage, even though the fruit inside is still struggling to mature. This interference goes beyond appearance. The chill dulls their sweetness and alters their texture, leaving them bland and disappointing. A mango that should melt in your mouth instead tastes watery. A banana loses the creamy bite it's known for. The science is simple. Tropical fruits evolved in warm climates, and cold disrupts the enzymes that drive their ripening. Once that process stops, the fruit's true flavor can't develop properly. Instead, these fruits need to stay at room temperature, in a basket or open bowl. They ripen naturally, reaching their best color, aroma, and taste without interference. Only after they've fully ripened should they be moved to the fridge, and only if needed, to keep them from spoiling too quickly. Even then, it's a temporary solution, not a permanent home. Handled this way, tropical fruits deliver their full promise, rich, sweet, and vibrant, just as nature intended, with none of the dullness the fridge imposes. Join our members club today for exclusive tips and insights you won't find anywhere else. Small habits in the kitchen can change everything. Choosing the right shelf, the right basket, the right storage, that's how you protect flavor and protect yourself. Like, comment, and share this video. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss essential guidance for your health and home.